Letter number 27. Instruction to Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, when he appointed him as the governor of Egypt. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Behave humbly with the people, keep yourself lenient, meet them large-heartedly, accord them equal treatment so that the big should not expect injustice from you in their favor and the low should not be despondent of your justice to them. Allah, the Sublime, will certainly question you, O community of His creatures, about your actions, small or big, open or concealed. If He punishes you, it is because you have been oppressive, and if He forgives, then it is because He is the most generous. Know, O creatures of Allah, that the God-fearing have shared the joys of this transient world as well as the next coming world, for they shared with the people of this world in their worldly matters while their people did not share with them in the matters of the next world. They lived in this world in the best manner of living and ate the choicest food, and consequently they enjoyed herein all that the people with ease of life enjoyed, and secured from it what the haughty and the vain secured. Then, they departed from it after taking provision enough to take them to the end of their journey and after doing a profitable transaction. They tasted the pleasure of renouncing the world in this world, and they firmly believed that on the coming day in their next life they would be neighbors of Allah, where their call would not be repulsed nor would their share of pleasure be small. Therefore, O creatures of Allah, be afraid of death and its nearness and keep ready all that is needed for it. It will come as a big event and a great affair, either as a good in which there will never be any evil, or an evil in which there will never be any good. Who is nearer to paradise than he who works towards it, and who is nearer to hell than he who works for it? You are being chased by death. If you stop, it will catch you, and if you run away from it, it will grip you. It is more attached to you than your shadow. Death is tied to your forelocks while the world is being wrapped up from behind you. Therefore, fear the fire whose hollow is deep, whose flames are severe and whose punishment is novel. It is a place wherein there is no mercy. No call is heard in it. No pain is healed in it. If it is possible for you to have severe fear of Allah and to rest hope in Him, then do both these things, because every individual has hope in his Lord to the extent of his fear of his Lord. Certainly, the most hopeful person with Allah is he who fears Him most. O Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, know that I had given you charge of Egypt, which is my biggest force. So you are duty-bound to oppose your passions and serve as a shield against your religion, even though you may get only an hour in the world, and do not enrage Allah for pleasing others, because Allah is such that He may take the place of others, but others cannot take the place of Allah. Say prayers at the appointed time. Do not say it earlier for the sake of available leisure, nor delay it on account of preoccupation. Remember that every act of yours is dependent on your prayer. The leader of guidance and the leader of destruction cannot be equal, nor the friend of the Prophet and the enemy of the Prophet. The Messenger of Allah, may Allah's blessing and greeting be upon him and his progeny, has told me that, I have no fear for my ummah from either a believer or an unbeliever. As for the believer, Allah will afford him protection because of his belief, and as for the unbeliever, Allah will humiliate him because of his unbelief. But I fear for you everyone who is a hypocrite in his heart and learned of speech. He speaks what you hold good but does what you dislike.